Yes, y'all. Welcome into another Dunmark's podcast, episode 194. The best breakfast bunch around, breaking down everything that is from the world of pro wrestling. Gentlemen, how we living, how we feeling?
Not too bad today.
Not too bad today. Not too bad today. The episode for today's show is for Jason 194. That's the Roman numerals for 194, or in this instance, the number of matches on Forbidden Door. A lot to break down. A lot to break down this week. Yeah, 194, Jay. Now, spinning your chair, it'll show 194. So, those of you that weren't around for last week or didn't catch the clip of the week, go check that out on the archives of the YouTube because we had some fun with Roman numerals last week. But we're here another week in the books. Year is halfway over. We're about to roll into July. Back at it again. Your boy's in his rightful place hosting the show. So it'll be a good week. It'll be a good week. A lot of patting myself on the back this week, maybe potentially.
I was gonna say, what were we doing over there?
Nepotism. I mean, everybody's up in arms about Bronny James getting drafted to the Lakers and acting like this has not been in a whole thing across the United States since the United States existed.
Yes.
Hell, WWE is literally built on nepotism.
I was going to say, isn't royalty basically nepotism?
And a white family alone.
Yeah.
I mean, we could run down a list of second, third, fourth generation wrestlers at this point, and literally, I can guarantee you, if you do that, 70% of them have worked in the WWE.
Yep,
I've been from nepotism.
Look.
My dad left me nothing man in the house, so there you go.
Hey, well played. No, but seriously, like
a little bit of morning honesty from Jason today.
when you look at it, I mean, especially like pro wrestling, like I said, WWE, like it's filled with second, third generation people. And not all those people would be in pro wrestling if they didn't have that last name.
True.
Yes.
Look at your WWE champion. Would Cody Rhodes have been straight to the main roster if he wasn't Rhodes?
Nope.
Nah.
And there was times he was barely hanging on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he first started, boy, he was bad.
You can go across the spectrum of second and third generation wrestlers and say, would he or would she, as far as making it. But at the same time, they started out on second and third base while the rest of us were in the on-deck circle waiting to get up to the plate. Like, it happens. It's life. That's the way it works.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Companies alone are the same way. Like, it's across the board in every industry.
What's the saying? It's who you know.
Exactly. Not what you know, it's who you know. So, in my instance, I knew, plumbers, electricians, steel workers, roofers. So I decided to go the college route and try to forge my own path outside of that world. But yeah, it is what it is. Like,
now that's the hot world to be in.
Yes, it
full
is.
Circle life.
Yes,
circle
it
life.
is.
Right back around. Circle life.
We were taught work smart, not hard, and then the people that work hard, it's like
are smart because Yeah.
reaping the benefits because nobody knows how to do shit now.
Right. Yeah, so I thought that was like I was watching SmackDown last night, and whenever they did the tribute to Sika, and you start running through the list, and then it was like, oh wait, and then I started thinking, I'm like, WWE is nepotism 101. Like that's a study in nepotism. Like people are up in arms, but you don't see, people going through brick walls trying to say, well, this person, is on the main roster because of who their parent was or their uncle was, and somebody else isn't getting a shot. Like, just made no sense. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good one, Mars.
Yeah. Well, now Mars, let's not do that. Dom's number one. He's not two. He's top three, not 2 or 3. Does not do that.
He was born in the business. He was headlining at 5.
Yeah, let's not do that. But I mean, look, it's up at the end of the day, regardless of who gets you in the door, it's up to you to make the most of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we see this all the time, and you've seen it with second, third generation superstars. Like you have the ones that make it, and then you have your others that were like, yo, never should have been in the business in the first place. But it is what it is. As the Macho Man, the Macho Man always says, the cream rises to the top, brother.
And what's that saying? I can show you the door, but you're the one who got to walk through it.
Speaking of doors, we got predictions for Forbidden Door coming up today, so we'll get into that and cover that 194 match card. That turned into a huge talking point yesterday. Some stuff on the internet just really sometimes I can't believe that this is even a topic. And they were literally debating what's a better format, Forbidden Door or Triple H's 5 PLEs.
And I'm like, but
I mean,
depends on what you prefer in wrestling. All preference.
Maybe a happy medium.
But it wasn't that long ago where WWE was a 12-14 match card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's not rewrite history. I know we're in a new era, but we can't just exclude everything that happened. It's not a
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Now we got to have that. Little debate of how long's the Forbidden Door going to go on for? Is it going to be a 4-hour show? Going to be a 5-hour show?
It'll be 7. It'll be 7 to midnight, like a Blue Chew ad. It'll be like a Blue Chew ad. 6 to midnight. Be out there. More than 4 hours. Don't call doc. I mean, that's what we're doing.
If it lasts all of Forbidden Door, you might want to call it off.
Being on Sunday.
Yeah, because the last one ended around like 12:30.
Yeah, but oh yeah, geez, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
no, like they
That's
need
the difference. WWE gave you like 12 matches and gave you 3 hours. Like, hey, get in.
You got 3 minutes. Go out there and do your
8 to
thing.
11, get in.
Yeah, DJ. 7. We talked about that. I think we've agreed on this show when we've brought this topic up before that 7 to 8 was like the sweet spot as far as a decent 3-hour length pay-per-view, to where you get time for everybody, but some of the matches that don't need 10, 12, 15, 20 minutes can go that 5-7 minute range, and you have your sweet spot. So,
and every match don't need to break down before.
No, it don't. No. But if you have like a couple matches with like good stories in it, then 5 matches are good enough, Like within.
Well, since we got so much to get into with Forbidden Door as far as prediction goes, we'll jump right into the messiness and the positivity from the week that was in pro wrestling with Mushes and Mount Rushmore. We'll go positive first. We'll go Mount Rushmore first because I feel like that may be a longer discussion with certain Mount Rushmores depending on who you guys selected for this week. So we'll go around the horn, but we'll go starting with Donald below and work counterclockwise this week just to be different.
Cool.
So, Donald, what you got for your Mount Rushmore this week?
So mine is real simple. Happened last night. The true return of the Yes Boys.
Everything that went on this week, and this dude picks a backstage segment.
Hey, me with my wrestling fatigue, so I had to like put everything in within a couple days. But yes, to me, the Yes Boys being back bring some life into that SmackDown tag division, because to me that tag division is boring as hell.
Yeah,
it seemed like nothing is happening with that division. So
you
throw the titles.
That's about it right now.
I mean, so you throw the titles on them. I mean, you're getting quality wrestling and you're getting quality entertainment at the same time.
The only thing you have in the SmackDown tag division is literally DIY and Waller and Theory. Like that's all that they focused on story-wise the past couple weeks. So
and then profits get thrown in there, whenever. But yeah, the Yes Boys definitely could fight and light a fire up under that tag division.
Now I won't necessarily go into this today, but that's a good debate to have under Triple H, his era or the Renaissance era, whatever you want to call this, because his NXT run tag team wrestling was the focus at some point in time throughout NXT. Like that was the main story. You were more excited to watch the tag team title matches than you were the heavyweight title matches. So the fact that we're still on the main roster and we haven't really seen that come to fruition yet, be interesting to see when we get tag team wrestling elevated up on the card in WWE.
Ooh, I don't know about that, DJ.
I can't do another third hour.
Yeah.
They can cut some shit.
They can. I mean, I know the bloodline is your main story. That could get cut a little bit just to show some tag team stuff.
Well, all right, you got your boys back on screen last night, so we got Pretty Deadly on Mount Rushmore for Donald.
Do damage.
Chris.
I'm gonna give it from Raw. I gotta give it to the VHS tape. Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, whatever he wants to be called right now. But that line just hooked me whenever Uncle Howdy looked at him. It was just like, how did it feel when your brother died? Like that hooked me on Monday night.
Bro,
I sat up like that. Yeah.
Again, we talked about it last week with the Lucha Underground theme as far as cinema on a wrestling show, or a wrestling on a cinema / TV show. And it tied into what Triple H said during the week. He said we're not a sport. We're a movie or a TV show about a sport. And that was the quintessential example of that statement right there. Because man, that was deep. That was real.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we always talk about, how like the best stuff blurs that line, and I blurred the line, and it just brought you right into it.
And it's a good setup for Netflix too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I thought they did a great job Monday night with all the follow up stuff.
So it didn't bother you that they brought. I guess they didn't keep the elephant quiet in the room. They brought it to the forefront immediately.
Yeah. No, it didn't bother me.
Like you got the appearance from everybody last week. They had the murder scene, the destruction. They laid everybody out, and then this week they immediately bring up Bray's death. Like, we're not going to sit on this. We're not just going to let it continue to circulate outside. We're running right through it so you can see potentially some of the motivation behind Taylor Rotunda or Bo Dallas, because we don't know if he's still Bo in that instance or if he's Taylor just interacting with Uncle Howdy.
I think we'll still get that. I think that's still going to play off like what the motivation and everything is. But I think them bringing it to the forefront of, hey, like, you know who this is. We're not going to sit there and like act like you don't. And it just did it. So I was cool with that.
Yeah, initially I didn't know how to feel. I was like, first it was shock, and it was like, do you run this angle? Do you not? Like, I was like, okay. Bo was with him. Bo's been with him the whole time, so I'm sure Bo knew his vision, and I trust that Bo knew his vision, and will continue to play it out.
Yeah, I think Monday night you didn't see Bo Dallas. You saw Taylor Rotunda.
Yeah.
Yes,
that was as real gets. There was no acting while he was sitting down in that chair cutting that promo. That was him grieving. Like I feel, the grieving process when somebody passes away, especially when somebody passes away unexpectedly, is different for every single person that goes through it, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're a 9-year-old kid that loses a parent, or you're a 30-something-year-old brother in this instance, right? Like you're going to grieve differently regardless. It's just how it is. And I feel like Taylor being involved in this will help his grieving process and get through that in a way that will make him feel good, right? Like Mark and Jay Briscoe, same type of thing, right? Like you heard Mark whenever he was talking about Jay giving his eulogy and the positive aspect, and they were so in touch with their faith and everything else, and just the way he handled that, it was like I don't know how you have the strength to do this right now. Like but that's him going through and handling the process differently. Where this, I feel like this is a way to air it out in a creative format that ties into who Bray was, but also who Taylor was. We've seen clips surface across this week of them, imitating Bray and Matt Hardy in the ring. We've seen Bo Dallas be creative with Team B and everything else. Like, we just gotta let the process play out as far as that goes, which I think will be beneficial to Taylor as he works through this process. But I'm excited for it. If they're going to slow play this and give me vignettes and stories as far as introducing everybody and motivation wise, then I can get behind that as far as them not just attacking people each week. Like, keep it fresh, let it play out. And
that would get old real quick if they just are attacking people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we brought that up on last week's show,
Yeah.
Chris. Like what you said, like what do you do? Like, how do we keep it fresh? There's no tie-in from from Raw to SmackDown last week. Like, do they float across shows, etc. Right? So I thought they did a real good job with the follow-up. Initially, because I watched Pat McAfee's show, Triple H and Michael Cole were on because they were in Indy, and they had a cut-in with the Wyatt Six stuff.
Lied.
Triple H was on saying you lied, and then Pat doesn't show. Pat's not on show, and I'm like, oh, so. And Michael Cole said the Wyatt Six is going to deliver a message. I'm like, yo, they got the Pat. Like,
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like we just talked about, Pat had an issue. He talked about it on the show the following day. His father-in-law suddenly passed away Monday, and that's why he wasn't on the show. So condolences. Shout out to his family. While they're going through this process. So yeah, it was very very real moment Monday night when that popped up on screen, because I was not expecting that line.
Yeah.
No.
How did you feel?
Bo.
God. And then to show Bo, be out there. It was 1,000%. They're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
From a baseball and housey standpoint, the game's long, but they're 2 for 2. Anything else on the Wyatt Six? The video? Anything? Nope. Jay, who you got for your Mount Rushmore this week?
I'm gonna go with two people that stuck out to me. I know there was a lot to happen this week, but one, Jada Parker on NXT, just that short clip of her coming up to the camera and just going off, challenging Mia Yim. She's on the rise. All she needs is the character's on point. She's on point. She just needs a good move set, and she's off to go. Send her off to the races.
DJ, I don't know if you're trolling with that Mount Rushmore this week or if you're 100% serious, but look, nepotism again. Right? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, if that's real, I hadn't heard that.
No, she did. She debuted this
Okay.
week. She's in the crowd. So, Mars, I'm not throwing that comment up there, but I'm sure that's the sentiment that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
When Miss Parker is on TV. So,
She just has it with the aura and everything.
yeah, see, I mean, I felt that way about her since day one, as far as just like the look, like it's there. And yeah, when she comes out, it's all attitude. The charisma from her jumps off the screen. So she's not a bad worker either at this point in time. Like she can go, right? It's just building on those skills. And then I think Mike time, she's ahead of the game as far as where she should be at right now, at least in my eyes. Like, she's not somebody that I would be hesitant about handing a mic to and let her talk.
Mm-hmm.
She might be top in the division right now, in the women's division.
Now, I think if if you get her on the mic in spurts like she did this week,
Mhm.
where that attitude that matches the character can come out,
Yeah.
and you know, enough with with the baby shit. Like, nah, street fight, let's go.
Mhm.
Knuckle up, right? Knuck if you buck. To throw that old fight song out there, but yeah, that's where she'll shine. You know?
That was Sean handpicked. And then
Yeah,
my other one is Braun Breaker. I did not expect that pop he got from the crowd. Like in the NXT when he was like babyface Braun, I was like, how is this going to transition to the main roster? Will it pay off? And like he had his runs, his couple matches on SmackDown here and there before he got signed. I was like, will it work? But this heel Braun, and it's just hitting all cylinders for me.
I know we're still early with Braun, but the organic reaction to him, I don't know if you guys remember, but I said back whenever it first started that watch how WWE books Braun versus what AEW did with Wardlow.
Mhm.
Because it was the same organic groundswell that got Wardlow over into the Power Symphony to being the hottest thing since sliced bread in that company. And then you have him go up against MJF, don't put the title on him, and now where's he at?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so just pay attention to how it's done differently, because this is where you build a star from an organic reaction to keep that guy there for a long period of time.
And I don't know what it is about Kaiser. You put anybody in the ring with Kaiser, they're automatically face. They're automatically getting pops. They're automatically getting scared. They're
It's
automatically fan favorite.
He has that punchable
He
face.
do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's
He
doing
plays
his
it
job.
well.
Oh yeah.
He plays it well.
I could never see him face right now.
Now,
no.
now Braun did have some Steiner logic go into that promo to Pierce, which didn't make much sense, but he's Steiner through and through. So again, nepotism.
He'll pop out.
Yeah,
That's a show this
but
week.
like, yeah, Sammy telling him what 2 weeks ago or whatever, hey, you can get a shot anytime you want, and then Braun going to Pierce, I'm tired of all these people getting in my way. I want a shot. It's like, well, Sammy already told you could have a shot. Like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? That you need to go through all these people? Like, so, and I love when he turned around and saw Sammy standing there. I love Sammy's facials. Like, Sammy was not playing when Braun turned around. He was
Mhm.
serious, Sammy. Like, it was okay. This is what you want. You think you're ready for this? Like, name it. Let's go. And then now we got the match made. Money in the Bank. I do expect the title change, but we'll talk about that on predictions for Money in the Bank next week.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do expect that, but yeah, those aren't bad options based on what they did this week. Again, another backstage segment. So maximize your minutes, wrestlers. Backstage,
Yep.
in the
Mhm.
ring, don't matter.
It
Maximize
don't
your
matter.
minutes. You got 2 Mount Rushmores from a backstage promo with Donald and Jason's pick this week. So yeah, my Mount Rushmore. Chris, you had the Y6, so I that was up there on my list. But I mean, the Bloodline last night, it was absolutely tremendous. Like,
Paul Heyman. That's all you got to say.
so
Paul taking
Yeah.
that bump, yeah.
good,
Paul Heyman.
right? And it looked like, I
Paul's the
swear to
real
God,
MVP.
I saw somebody tweet this out. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, it just adds to the legend of Paul Heyman. So apparently Heyman has done this before because, he wasn't shaved, right? The
Mhm.
scruffiness was in it,
Mhm.
everything else. The
Yeah.
eyes were super bloodshot and everything else to, show the emotion of him, crying and whatnot. But apparently Heyman did not sleep. He pulled all nighter to where like he gets to that point in the night and he's just, and hell,
Yeah.
I almost believe it for him to take the bump that he took, because Heyman got to be, how I don't even know how old Heyman is, but the fact that he let them shield powerbomb him
Yeah.
to a table.
And he
Yeah.
sold the hell out of it too while not moving.
He went to sleep.
And
He
he
did.
was like,
Get him laying down.
I think the best you could. So when they announced the celebration during the week, I thought, oh well, maybe they'll pivot because of Sika. Like maybe they won't have, because who knows funeral arrangements and all that, right? But like maybe this will have to get changed on the card because of that. And then they said, nope, we're getting this celebration. I loved how they started the show with Cody, Randy, and KO coming out and just like, let's go. We're not waiting on you no more. The fact that the baby faces got escorted out of the arena by police, but the bad guys,
a different twist. Different twist.
Were allowed to stay. Typical pro wrestling, right?
Heyman's 58.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Solo, Jacob's not here. He's too dangerous. Like, okay. And then he puts the hand out to cut off Paul like Roman did. And I'm like, oh, we're going that route with this celebration. Everybody acknowledging Solo one by one. And that reaction when Paul said, I acknowledge you are not my tribal chief, I thought that building was going to come apart. That was like, and they're doing all this. And you know what this is doing? We've been getting We Want Roman chants since after WrestleMania,
right after.
But you talk about a pop when that music hits, and a baby face of all baby faces right now, and he has an entire side of the family to wrestle for fresh matchups. Like I need Roman and Jacob Fatu immediately.
Oh, save that. Don't rush it. Save that. You got to savor the flavor on that.
I'm saying immediately, but I'm saying like you can have the war between the bloodlines, right? You can have the which we talked about last week, but just one-on-one matchups with Roman, like
WWE finally give Roman Reigns as the face they wanted.
Right.
After all these years.
The long game.
That's long time storytelling. I mean, we had this back in 2015. What are you talking about?
Steve, how did you feel when he pulled the beads out?
Yo, I was like,
especially after the secret tribute. I was like,
yeah. Like you want to talk about piling on emotions? Like, yo, if you're Roman, you're watching the show. They just gave a classy tribute to the life of Sika. We know how WWE does these things whenever somebody passes away, right? Like, but it was almost set up in a way that it built and added more to the story on screen for the next segment. Like, I know it wasn't planned that way, right? But because you saw in that vignette, you saw the pictures with Sika and Roman. You saw Sika putting the beads onto Roman and acknowledging him as the tribal chief. And for them to pull the beads out for Solo, wow.
Paul had that look like, what did you do?
His reaction when them beads came out was just it was just fantastic storytelling.
People always talk about like how WWE should like nominate themselves for Emmys and stuff like that. Paul could win something just for his emotions.
Sure.
Well, bro, my man on the YouTube account that had the complete bloodline history that was 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Keep that rolling because
you gotta update it.
You gotta edit.
That's going to be like a 12-hour doc right now.
Now it's not a complete doc. Now it's like Harry Potter. Like this is book 1 here, Bloodline up to WrestleMania this year. This is part 2 now.
Chris, you brought up VHS tapes earlier. That's a Titanic double VHS tape.
Godfather 2.
Yeah. Oh man, but no, Bloodline. Yeah, I don't. Dom had a good night Monday night. I mean, the chicken nuggets to You know,
Roman's having a good year. A good
But-
run.
I will say this before
Man
we
don't
jump,
have to hit the ring at all.
before we jump into mushes, the way that they led into the end of the show with Liv coming out of the locker room and it being Finn in there
Mhm.
Mhm.
and Priest questioning Finn, and then Liv coming out and being the reason why Judgment Day won the tag team champs, and her standing in between JD and Dom, or JD and Finn, and JD and Finn look at each other and just shrug like, all right. Just, like when Liv said she was coming to take everything from mommy, she's literally taking everything from mommy.
Yeah.
She's taking Dom. She took her title. Now she is taking the Judgment Day. Like, and you want to talk about a pop when Rhea comes back? She's gonna get a pop too. So
Do you bring those two back on the same day, her and Roman?
That's
That's
a
too
lot.
much.
Big event.
Yeah.
Your heart can't take that.
yeah, no, let's not do that. Not do that.
No.
Don't overshadow one with the other.
Yeah.
You know, let them each other moment.
And not only all that, but you also have Priest with Seth saying the Judgment Day needs me more than I need the Judgment Day. So we got all these storylines connecting and weaving, and you know, is it the right time to break up the Judgment Day? Who knows? But they're starting to turn into another iteration, which I like to see because it's keeping them fresh. Everybody involved is good. And it's just another interesting thing to tune in and watch on Monday night.
Yeah.
Like Raw again, that 3 hours went by, and I'm like, I'm so happy I watched Raw. Like, and we sat through years where it was like
A
2
drag.
minutes in, and I
Yeah.
turned it off.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So those are the Mount Rushmores this week. Let's get into the mushes. Same order. We'll circle back around the clock in reverse order. There, Donald, who you got for a mush of the week?
My mush has come from NXT. It's like an overall thing that I've been building up the last couple of weeks, but really hit on this week for me is Wesley still being in the NA title picture. I know he got hurt and all that stuff, but still, before he got hurt and was beefing with Dom, he was beefing with Mello, and by the time he came back, I think he should have been sprung up into the main event picture by now. But with Trick having all these opponents in the main event picture, including Wesley's 3.0 version of himself as Javon Evans, I don't ever see him breaking that ceiling.
Not while Trick holds the title, because you're not going to run babyface against babyface.
I mean, they did Hogan versus Warrior, but
yeah, Trick and West aren't Hogan and Warrior.
yeah, but just watching his match with Joe Coffey, it was just like, you know what, like this man shouldn't even be on this level anymore with these guys down here. I mean, I know Oba ain't the most, like, he's not green, but he's still green. Like, yeah, his platform should have been sprung up into the main event picture.
Yeah, I think my issue with this week is that it was nothing different.
Mm.
Like, Oba didn't say anything different to Wes. Like, it's just NXT for me this week was I didn't enjoy NXT. I thought it was a bad show.
Yeah,
like I just thought nothing really clicked on NXT this week, and you know, you're not with developmental. Depending on what you're doing and who you're rolling out there, you're gonna have those episodes where it just feels like a dud. And I thought Tuesday night was a dud. So
that's who should have been my Mount Rushmore last week, but it totally skipped my mind. Was just Wesley on the mic. I'm over Wesley. I'm over Scrappy. This is my title. Hearts on my sleeve. Wesley. Yeah, go heel or something, because
it's time to evolve.
go to TNA.
He was already in TNA. What do you want him to go back?
But yeah, him in the NA title picture is starting to kill it for me.
Chris?
This week I'm going to give it to the opening to Dynamite. I was not a fan of the Daniel Garcia Appreciation Night. It's like I like Daniel Garcia. I think the matches coming out of it could be good, but just because we're in Buffalo, we're doing this segment.
Of course.
Like, it made no sense for me. It was a long segment too.
Yes.
Like it just went on too much.
I didn't like that at all. Like I'm with you, Chris, but I think the bigger thing that I was frustrated in is that again you're using Garcia as a stepping stone or a building block for MJF and Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen that type of booking before with AEW. Yeah, there was a lot of things in that segment that didn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
Like, why would MJF challenge Garcia to a match at All In? That makes no sense. Like,
just because they've talked about having a match together.
Yeah,
I bet you a lot of wrestlers talked about matches having a match together.
Yeah. Garcia with the Hugh Jackman Wolverine look is very interesting with the leather jacket and the hair kind of coming out. Like, I'm expecting him
to the promo. Like, how is your jacket zipped up and off your shoulders? Like, what? Bret Hart vibes. Like,
what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, we got an acknowledgement on the screen. Yeah, so I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that being on the mush.
Yeah, it was just like I watched that segment after it was over. It's just like, what did I just watch? Like I said, the match is like next week. Ospreay, Garcia. That's going to be a great match. I know it's going to be a great match. But what was the point of setting it up? Like, especially whenever like you have Ospreay going for the title this week. I know he was like, doing the premonition of I'm going to put both titles on the line, but like, can't we do this match after Forbidden Door's over? Like, can't we? Like,
why is he even in MJF's story at all? Like, you didn't need the run in last week. Like, you're over convoluting things. You're looking too far in the future. Play out what you
I would say something, but it's not appropriate right now. I'll tell y'all.
Can't wait to hear this one.
Yeah, run-ins were a little prevalent this week in AEW, and I get it, it's Forbidden Doors, so you got to have, but that was, arguably up there for my mush of the week, but I have a different option. Jay, what you got?
Okay, so Hop to drop last week.
After we get through these last two mushes, you may want to drop off the show because Forbidden Door. So we'll predict that card and break that down.
Telling people to leave the show. Andy freezes with that.
He's back.
I'm back.
I was over Hawk 2 the day it dropped.
You're not going to disrespect.
Steve's not even over it yet.
You're not going to disrespect that national pressure.
Memes, I was over it the day it dropped. A couple hours, and I was like, okay, now we're overdoing it. Vic Joseph dropped it 3 times on NXT, and then the first time he said Hawk Tui. He said Hawk 2 more times throughout the show. No, you're treading on Morrow level. I can tune you out, but once you said Hawk Tui, I was like, you know what? I'm over this guy.
Well, that
was my breaking point.
There's a main difference between Booker T and Vic Joseph, and if you look at Vic Joseph, you know why he said Hawk Tui. Not going to get the pronunciation correct. I'm not going to let you do that.
So what's the bush? Is it the Huck 2 or is it Vic Joseph?
It's Vic Joseph, but yeah.
It's okay.
I know I sent y'all the Liv Morgan thing, but I was like, okay, that's playing in the character. I was over that like 2 hours after it dropped.
Yeah, no, we're not. I'll let you put Vic Joseph on the mush list because he's trash anyway. So I'm okay with that.
He's gonna send you 5 memes a day now.
Just you.
Yeah. So, all right. My mush this week is gonna fall into the category of the IWC ruining spoilers. So last night, I didn't watch SmackDown Live because I was out at the airport picking up my son and I come back and watching the show, fast forwarding to commercials and everything else. And I'm to a point where, all right, I'll pull up social media now because and on my timeline, all I'm seeing is Charlie Dempsey and TNA. So TNA had their TV tapings last night, and all the fans in attendance taped Dempsey showing up and tweeted it out there. So once they tweeted it out there, the other wrestling quote unquote journalists and everybody picked it up and started retweeting it out there. So now I got nothing but spoilers on my timeline for NXT talent showing up in TNA. So you just killed the whole gimmick of the promotions working together as far as who's going to show up when.
Mm-hmm.
And when does this air?
Well,
Yeah. Could it air as early as this upcoming Thursday, or it could be a couple weeks? Because I think they're taping like 4 weeks of TV.
Okay.
Always.
And in the videos, you hear the NXT chants and everything else, and you see what he did and all that. Like, as a wrestling fan that wants surprises, it would have been a good surprise. Now, is Charlie Dempsey on a level of Jordan Grace or Joe Hendry? No. But we know who Charlie Dempsey's father is, a la William Regal, nepotism, circling back to that tree that we've established, right? But it would have worked.
Can Regal show up on TNA television? I know he's not allowed on WWE television yet, but can he show up on TNA?
But man, like, come on, dude. Like, there's, you know what? Like, seeing that clip made me wish. You know, when you go to certain comedians, like their shows, you gotta put your phone in a bag. It's locked. You can't get it.
Yeah.
For this exact point, so you're not out there spoiling the set, ruining the jokes. Like, I know you can't have everybody in the arena handing their phone. I get that, but at the same time, like, come on, dude. Like, why are you ruining this? Like, it makes no sense. I hate it. It ruined, like, now whenever I watch it and I see it on TNA, I'm going to get a flashback to me getting it spoiled on social media because
get mad about it.
Yeah, like,
I used to be one that whenever the TNA tapings were going on, I'd just follow along with the spoilers. And then I wouldn't just watch it, you know. That's how I got caught up with TNA. But like now, it's like I'm the opposite. I'm just completely.
You're pulling the me move. Like, that's me time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't watching it at the time, but now it's just like I'm the complete opposite, where I'm completely avoiding spoilers, you know, and watching the program. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, DJ, man, last night I was.
Yeah.
Man.
Yo, and what was so funny is I'm glad you brought that up too.
This is why you got to watch some stuff on YouTube, because then it's fine on there.
They were blacking out the chants. They were just blacking out the whole block and the chants. So there's like
on
TV.
They blocked out the video when it was coming down for some reason.
So Triple H talked about this on Pat's show, about how things will be different on Netflix. Like, you're not like. Don't get me wrong, WWE's not gonna just run to like a triple X rating when they get on Netflix, and it's not gonna happen. So like, let's watch that. But
that was the stupidest thing this week of fans being like, the PG era is over. No, it ain't.
No, it's not.
But
like the first segment gonna be TNA just out there.
Yeah, no,
another TNA.
The other TNA. Yeah. But he literally said, he's like, you know, on Fox they'll cut the chants, they'll cut the video, sometimes they'll cut both, and sure enough, it happened like 7 times last night where like I thought my internet went out the first couple times until then I'm like, oh no, it's because of what they're chanting in the arena as it's going on. So yeah, that could have been a mush. If it wasn't for the spoilers, I probably would have put that on my mush this week because I was frustrated watching SmackDown last night. So at least we won't have to worry about that when we get to the Netflix era.
You had me mad.
Just depending for CW what they do. But I don't think you'll get the same type.
A Logan Paul segment.
Yeah, Halliburton and Brunson last night. That was
a close mush, boy. That was close.
It was great timing. It was great timing.
That was close, man.
You were in New York, Brunson, Hero. Halliburton again was on Pat's show, and he, obviously been lifelong wrestling fans. He talked about how him and Brunson and them are in a group chat. They're friends, obviously. So like, hey, we got a chance to do some business and get some heel heat on Logan Paul.
Terrible.
This is the Logan Paul I need. I need the heel Logan Paul.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Halliburton put it on the brass knuckles like he gonna do something. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm cool with the segment. Just don't pick up the weapons. You could
Come
have
on.
We're not getting that on Netflix. But that's what everybody thinks we're going to get on Netflix.
How much would that shirt sell, though?
Number one, it would sell like the Suck It shirt did whenever we were in junior high when that came out.
Yeah.
So those are Mount Rushmores and Mushes of the week this week. We'll save quick hitters, but let's jump into Forbidden Door. I think we got a 12 or a 14 match card to get through.
13.
We won't deep dive all of these, but I'm sure we'll have some longer talking segments on certain matches just based on what they've done so far. So
3 0-hour matches, 10 main cards.
Oh my God.
So we'll get into this pretty quickly here with 0 hour Statlander and Watanabe versus Nightingale and Nakano.
I'm not going to say much on this because it's leading to Statlander and Willow and the Owen, right? Or otherwise, I'd be upset that you have Statlander and Willow on the 0 hour. That's all I'll say, because that's been a story that 2 women should be on your main card. Although I believe they have 3 matches on the main card that are women's matches, which is outside the norm for AEW.
Getting better.
There might be 2 on the main card.
All right.
But there's 2 on 0 hour as well.
Okay,
Go.
2 and 2. I thought they had 3 on the main and 2 and 1 on 0. But
we got Timeless and we got Mercedes on the main. Yeah, and then we'll have another women's match here.
All right, I'll go with the faces. I'll go with Willow and Nakano.
This is one of them instances where I don't need him to touch until they touch.
Very true.
Yeah. Give me Willow and Tam.
Same thing.
I think you guys are right. I think that's going to be the outcome. I'd rather see the Willow pay off in the match with her and Statlander, so give me Statlander for the win here. All right, so up next, trios match, Los Ingobernables de Japón versus the Lucha Brothers and Mystico.
Now, if you want a match to kind of get the crowd juiced up from the AEW standpoint, this is the match right here. It'll be in that lucha style, high flying, a lot of back and forth, a lot of spots, a lot of holy shit moments. Anytime Rey Fenix is in the ring, you're gonna have holy shit moments. I'll go with Lucha Bros and Mystico.
Same.
That's what I'm going with too. Get the crowd over and into it.
Nah, Los Ingobernables de Japón.
DJ, I think they strictly got added just because it's Forbidden Door.
Door.
Yeah,
Might take a pen.
Yeah, one of them. Exactly.
The middle finger to Tanahashi, like, sorry.
And then the last one for 0 hour for the Owen Hart first round match, Mariah May versus Soraya.
First round match? 0 hour?
Yeah, Mariah May. She's my pick to win the Owen on the women's side for her versus Tony at All In. So I got Mariah.
Same.
Where's the finals at?
Wembley.
No, the finals are sometime in July, aren't they?
For the Owen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant, yeah.
Oh.
In July, and then the winners will face the champs at Wembley.
Yeah, give me Mariah May.
Makes sense.
And, I mean, she's involved in one of the best storylines going in AEW with Tony and Chris's favorite.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Don't worry.
If you look at the quarter-hour breakdowns by the ratings, which I don't do unless somebody puts them up on the internet because I'm not that much of a mark, Mina had, I think, the highest rated segment this week on Dynamite.
Oh, man. Yes, she does.
Just give me her and Tony. Y'all can keep Mariah May.
My
All right,
buddy
number
over
to 0 hour. Let's get
Me and Chris
All
on the same wavelength.
All right, we'll kick this shit off. Learning Tree and Jeff Cobb versus.
Why is this not on the 0 hour?
right?
Why is it on Dynamite?
Nah, I'm not going to do that because Joe, Hook, and Shibata are my new favorite 3 people together. I love everything that they're doing. It's hilarious.
Somebody
But
said all
but
Hook
it's who-
needs now is the black towel, like
I didn't
Taz.
see that.
It's just like, yeah, because they all have. Joe got the white towel. Shibata comes out with his towel.
Yeah, we need an orange towel on Hook. That way, you have.
That works too.
No, give me Joe, Hook, and Shibata.
Yes, I can't give it to the Learning
And this
Tree.
is spoiler alert: Jeff Cobb was not announced. He'll be announced tonight on Collision. So spoiler alert: Chris filled in the TBD from teammate. So I guess we're not getting Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki. So that was just a wasted segment.
Yeah, what was that?
Because I thought we were just gonna go with Jericho and Suzuki, which I'd have been here
I
for.
would have been completely fine with that. Yeah.
Destroy Jericho in his Learning Tree gimmick. But yeah, no. Now we're
Taz
getting
is
it.
all for that too.
Yeah. So I
For
just
me.
put mushes on my mount or my mush of the week for spoilers, and Chris went ahead and did it for predictions. That's good.
For me, the Learning Tree. Who's in the Learning Tree? Who's the leader?
Bill.
And it's a pay-per-view? Come on now. Jericho got this. Learning Tree for the win. Come on. Jarrett Hogan comes out.
I'm actually enjoying Hook in this angle. Just giving him more personality. So give me Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata.
All right. Up next, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy.
Could be a dark pick for match of the night. Their match on last year's Forbidden Door was really good. I don't know what they're going to do to top it when they run it back.
Rematch.
Orange got the win last year. I got Zack Sabre Jr. for the win this year.
Like Dawn said last segment, who's in this match? Orange don't lose.
Kind of what you were saying, Steve. Like, it's a rematch. Why are we doing the rematch again? Like,
I'll touch on that when we get to the end on my final thoughts for the card.
Okay.
See if you guys agree.
This is going to be the ongoing Forbidden Door match that just like repeats itself.
Just keeps going.
Maybe.
It's going to be the best of 17. You're going to be
It's like Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Again.
It'll be
Again.
Dr. Strange is spinning it right now. You know, like,
Forbidden Door.
back over. So Cassidy won last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it to Sabre then.
You know me, I don't like Sabre at all. But he's winning because it's the rematch.
I love the match with him and O'Reilly on Dynamite. I hated everything that happened afterwards.
Him and O'Reilly's like a mirror match.
It was, man, they yeah, like that was, I loved everything about that.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we needed a man win here and there. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, up next, we're going to go with MJF. And how the hell do you pronounce this one?
H.
Okay, H.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's not butcher that and get canceled. Okay.
I was going to say Histero, but I know
I ain't
that
saying
ain't.
with accent or not. Just say a Chicaro. I was about to say with accent.
Yes. MJF.
Yeah.
MJF.
How can you not pick anybody but MJF for this match?
We don't need a lot of time spent on this one.
No. We don't need a lot of time spent on this next one either. IWGP match, Moxley versus Naito.
Naito. Take the belt off, Mox.
Yep, Naito. Because they don't like Mox with the belt.
Naito deserves another run.
The New Japan fan base does not like Mox with the belt. New Japan ownership likes Mox with the belt. But I still, you got to put it on. You got to put it on Naito.
But we'll circle back around this. Who's in this match?
Moxley
There's the
Hogan.
right team, yeah.
Give me Naito.
Yeah, they just had Dominion, so that would have been the better place to drop the belt. That's like your second biggest event of the year. So,
But would you have more eyes on it here for the title change than Dominion?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know what New Japan really brings in.
Yeah, we gotta have a big time New Japan win. Like, and what's bigger than having a title change?
Yes. Coming back home.
Yeah, coming back home. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Men's Owen Hart tournament. Bryan Danielson versus Takagi.
This is another match of the night show stealer. Danielson, if you're not paying attention to social media, cut a fantastic promo that I think sets him up nicely to run through the Owen, win it, and challenge for the belt before he wraps up his full-time run as a wrestler. So I got Danielson.
Gotta go with my boy.
Give me Danielson.
Danielson, even though I like Shinjo a lot. Danielson.
All right, moving on. Got the Elite versus Scissor Ace.
Scissor Ace is a tremendous name, and seeing Tanahashi call himself that on Wednesday night was hilarious. Hilarious.
It is broken English, which makes it even better.
Yeah.
He gave that like X-Men line. Hello, old friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and Okada talking about character work and hitting stuff out of the park. Like his reaction when Tanahashi was up on screen and he got in this match was great. I'm gonna go with the Elite.
Oh, I don't know how you can't go with the Elite on this.
I know Bowens and the Acclaim have the title shot, but this is like another stepping stone to Blood and Guts. So
yeah,
go with the
Elite.
I'm gonna go with Ace and Bowens. And
Taekwon, I thought Scissor Ace was your handle. What are you talking about? Wow.
I feel like this iteration of the Bucks can take a loss and it won't hurt because you have the belts and you can just play into that role.
It's not a bad point. All right, moving on. The winner take all match. TBS and New Japan Strong. Mercedes versus Stephanie.
Another match of the night candidate. They've locked up once already. I got Mercedes. She's going to get the belt that she initially had made for her, even though they didn't specifically make it for her, but she was going to be the first New Japan Strong Women's champ. So, yeah, give me Mercedes. Mercedes, 2 belts.
Mercedes. They just put the title on her.
Banquer.
As soon as this match was made, Donald, I thought of you. I was just like, resume checking. Mercedes has got it.
We're not going to resume check Mercedes, okay? Let's not do that. It's not a.
I mean, that's all we're doing with this match. Just righting the wrong from the injury angle. That's it.
Which you really don't have to do it. It just could be an exhibition match. But no, we're not doing that.
All right. Now we're going to go into the ladder match for the TNT Championship. We got a lot of people in this match.
Dante Martin.
Chris again with the spoiler, because we don't know who the last person in the match is, according to the graphic. But this is going to be some holy shit stuff. You got El Phantasmo, Leo Rush, Dante Martin. Mark Briscoe's out of his bloody mind. We know what he's done in ladder matches. I don't see how
Takesh is on another level, so this is going to be a crazy match for him to be in.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like that, the power guy in the match. I don't see how Jack Perry does not win this.
Yeah. So
now, will this be exciting and potentially match of the night for AEW? Absolutely.
Could be.
My anxiety is going to be on 1,000 during this match.
Yeah.
Is someone going to get hurt? Good.
Probably. Yeah. It'll be Dante Martin again.
AEW wrestlers going to the top rope scared the shit out of me. Now you give them guys a ladder.
I know Jack Perry's going to win, but I really want Takeshi to win. Like, what you going to do with him? Like, this whole year, they've been doing nothing with him.
Bro, he's not happy. He's voiced it. Like they gave him a title shot against Mox, and he lost that. Now he's gonna lose this, and I think he's just gonna run his contract out and go back to Japan.
You
And
can.
he could be the star there.
Such a waste, man.
Bro, we talked about that whenever he first came on the scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like in ring wise, he was already one of the best. And then
I think he could easily like fill that need right now where they need that like next generation of Tanahashi and Rainmaker, and he could fill one of those spots easy.
Mm-hmm.
Or you
For
can
sure.
follow All Ego.
Hey,
I don't see him going to WWE.
I just need him somewhere where it's like he's accessible. I don't want to have to watch New Japan to see.
If you want to watch him though, that's an interesting. Didn't see that coming.
I like
Yeah.
the cat.
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody said their pick for that. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have Barry.
Let's talk about match of the night now. AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa.
It's one. I mean, this is for me. This is
the story.
This is the most enjoyable storyline in AEW right now.
Yes, it is.
Like
And it's by a lot,
look
too.
forward to these segments every single week. Like,
What am I hoping is going to be the match of the night? Right here.
yeah,
Mina Shirakawa will come out, do her entrance, and I'm good.
Oh yes.
yeah. When her and Mariah May did that on Wednesday night, I was like, "What is this?" And then I was like, "I'm not mad at this."
I wasn't mad one bit. Taz and
Come on.
Excalibur were cracking me up too. Like, did we usually do that when we come out?
Yeah. Come out and Chris Brown stomp the yard all you want. Go ahead. I got Timeless. Again, just to continue the build towards her and Mariah. We saw, the champagne bottle get broken over Mariah's head by Mina trying to hit Tony. Like this is a great pro wrestling storyline between
Yes, it is.
three women, and everybody's shining and elevating. And yeah, I got Timeless still retaining, and her press conference afterwards is going to be tremendous.
Yes, it always is. It always steals the show. Yeah, I don't care.
Mariah May's not my cup of tea, so I'm going Mina.
Interesting.
I don't have her pegged to win it at all. You guys have that story playing out.
My man picks Mina with the Timeless Tony Storm shirt on.
Just I don't want that story to play out.
Because it doesn't matter. We're all winners in this match.
We're all winners.
But Timeless.
Timeless,
So 3 for Tony and 1 for Mina.
but hope for Mina. A lot of hope. And AW sign her.
All right, the AEW World Championship. Swerve versus Ospreay.
Now this is my official match of the night. I know we've said a lot of potentials, but these two, first off, Will Ospreay, I don't know when he doesn't have a match of the night, especially on a pay-per-view. And Swerve is that guy. I like the build. I thought they've done things really well. They've made it personal. They've given it that extra edge. I thought Wednesday night was a nice cherry on top of the Sunday. Ospreay hesitated with the Tiger Driver 91.
Mhm.
Swerve said, "Yo, you touch my belt again, I'm putting you in the grave." And he immediately hit a house call and picked his belt back up. Like, yo, I told you, don't touch my belt. Like,
What's the saying? What happens and you find out?
yeah, fuck around and find out. And he definitely found out on
Yep.
Wednesday night. I think these two will tear the house down. I expect Swerve to win, but I would understand if they put the belt on Ospreay. I just don't see Ospreay carrying 2 belts right now.
I don't need to see Ospreay carrying 2 belts right now.
No.
Draw.
Main event draw. Interesting.
Man, you'll have
Now,
the crowd
that's
hot,
not-
boy.
Yeah.
we got a theory out there. We're all for theories on this show.
Uh-huh.
Throw that out there. We got no problem deep diving into some theories. Because I've tried to book this 9 different ways from Sunday to get to Wembley, where Ospreay wins the belt in London. And I
mean, you know what I thought? That's now gone out the window.
Yeah.
For that theory. Then this week I figured MJF might be involved somehow in the shakeup of this, but
a draw would be. Oh, that's a very interesting.
That is, Jason. That's a draw.
Yeah.
I mean,
a draw on a pay-per-view.
Look,
the end of the show.
And then that could set up the rematch.
Yeah, when you think about the logic, that's a good way to get there without anybody having to take a pin.
I think Jason was just fucking with us, and it turned out to be very
good. This match and every Daniel Bryan match for some importance.
I could think that could happen because what I was going to say is Tony's head is so far up Will Ospreay's ass with him being undefeated as a singles person that he doesn't want him to lose. That's a perfect way for him not to lose.
Yeah.
Now, if you run a draw and you run it back in Wembley, you would have to make it a triple threat because the winner of the Owen is added to the match. So then you have Danielson, Swerve, and Ospreay in a triple threat for the belt at Wembley, and Danielson takes the pin and rides off to the sunset.
Or if you're not going to give the belt to Ospreay there, Ospreay doesn't have to be the one to take the pin either, so it doesn't hurt him.
But if you have Ospreay in the match at Wembley for the belt and he doesn't win, you're gonna pull WWE with Drew and not book him to go over in his own country.
I think
DJ, this was my theory, but right now he has another match on Dynamite. He's not.
And the Young Bucks said that they inserted wild card, so I immediately took Ospreay off the board. Yeah, I immediately took Ospreay off the board.
Yeah.
When the Young Bucks said that on Wednesday night.
They insert the wild.
Does everybody have the same person in mind for the wild card?
Hangman.
Hey, everybody has Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
So
they insert wild.
You run that back again?
Hangman and Swerve? Well, time is in between, so it's good enough. Yeah. It's not like a month later we're fighting again.
And if the Elite are on this quest to get all the gold a la Undisputed Era, you would have Young Bucks champs, Okada champ, Jack Perry champ after the night.
Yeah.
Hangman would be that last piece.
Technically, Hangman would be champ if he wins the Owen Hart Cup. So, not reigning champ, but technically a champ.
Yeah, belt.
Yeah.
I forgot they handed out that stupid belt. That belt's like the diamond ring. You see it once, and then it doesn't come into play again
until it comes up in the next year.
The greatest battle royal.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Damn.
All right, so I got Swerve. Jay got a draw. Chris and Donald.
Like I said, a bit like I said, I think Tony is all for Ospreay, and he don't want him to lose at all. He's undefeated since he's been here, singles match wise. Ospreay for the win.
Yes to all of this.
The team calls out.
Ospreay winning, yes to a draw.
Yeah.
Just yes to everything.
Chris is like, just whatever happens. That's my pick.
Whatever happens, that's my pick.
I just don't need to see Ospreay having both belts right now. So just give me Swerve for that reason.
Well, they're about to give Monet 2 belts, so why not another one?
Well, that's
So, but I like Jason's idea. I like the draw.
I didn't even think about a draw, but the more I'm sitting here running through my head, I really like that.
Like now, that can be satisfied.
I'm happy though.
I was gonna say if the match is gonna be a banger for an hour.
So we don't do anything for the crowd. Yeah. So WWE wise, we don't care what the crowd thinks.
So if you put this on for a 60 time limit draw, this pay-per-view is not ending till 1 a.m.
And you're gonna fall asleep for the match, bro.
Just to be on
the West Coast, congratulations. At least you can stay up for this match.
Yeah. Just to be on that late for a draw, walking to work Monday morning.
Yeah, that may get me a little hot.
People be hot. I stayed up for this shit.
Double knockout, have it in early.
Now you're just throwing anything in there.
If you say count out, that'll piss everybody off.
Yeah, no, I don't want to count out.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
a draw is coming because the ring announcer will be like, "You got 20 minutes," or there's 10 minutes left, and like crowds will be like, "Oh, damn."
All right, real quick, match of the night. Who you got? I got Swerve and Ospreay.
Tony Mina.
Yeah, I knew Chris was going there.
Give me the ladder match.
Said the ladder match. I give it to Ennobling Ghost, whatever the thing is. Ladder match. Ladder match. Because I can't pick anything off the pre-show. That's the pre-show. Yeah. Ladder match.
Okay.
Is Preston Vance still with him?
He hasn't been seen.
I almost said who?
I forgot his dark. I had to use his name because I forgot his dark order number.
10.
10. Okay.
All right. We got
dark order number easy.
So that's Forbidden Door. As always, next week. Next week's show, spoiler alert, we'll be predicting Money in the Bank. So just be prepared for those predictions. But that's Forbidden Door. Let's hop into a little wrestling game. Debate this. I know we go with best a lot on this show as far as debating wise, but I want to debate some of the people that may not get the flowers that they deserve. So let's go with the most underrated wrestling faction of all time.
The Rosebuds. No, but I think about this.
Rosebuds was an entourage, not a faction. I'll give mine right off the bat, so then give you guys some time to think.
Yeah.
I got Triple Threat, ECW, Douglas, Candido, and Bigelow. Definitely don't get talked about with the rest of them.
They don't. They were real good.
You had Francine there. They had everything that you want in a faction.
Yeah. Oh, they were good. I don't know if they get the love that they deserve, but the Dangerous Alliance in WCW.
That was my number 2 pick.
Okay.
For most underrated.
Yeah. I mean, you had Rick Rude. I mean, one, you had Paul Heyman running that. Then you had Rick Rude. You had Stone Cold. What was the tag team they had? Arn was in the group, I think, for a little bit. But
you had Zbyszko.
I at that time in WCW, I was real into that stuff.
Radicals
is an interesting one. Like I loved whenever they were doing the it was like Dangerous Alliance versus like the York Foundation in WCW. Like, I love those two groups feuding.
The Wyatt family.
Underrated though?
I seeing them being brought up, I would say yeah, they're underrated.
Okay.
Over, yes. Underrated as a faction, they don't get talked about.
And which incarnation are we talking here?
There's original.
The original.
The trio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you were going up against the Shield at that time.
Yeah.
Like faction wise.
So like bangers. Them in the New Day. Them in the Usos.
Taquan on his deep cuts. He watched WCW and went down a rabbit hole right there.
New Jack and whatever tag team he was with that week.
That was everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some fan interaction here with this. Mexicools was out there. Taquan again, not being serious, but
I was wearing my Social Outcast shirt. Couldn't find it.
How did Jason not have 3MB up here yet?
Well, that's funny you brought that up. Yeah,
Team Canada and TNA. Yes, that was a great group.
For me, Hit Row, not Hit Row, Hurt Business.
Oh, I'm about to say Hit Row.
Yeah, I was
Hurt Business. There's a lot of talk going around the Hurt Business recently, depending on which you believe MVP to be saying. So as far as MVP liking or responding to a tweet or something about Triple H just took the Hurt Business and gave it to the Bloodline. And MVP followed up with yeah. Great tweeting by MVP on that end.
Mars says PMS. Pretty Mean Sisters.
I forgot about that. The Brood.
Wasn't that Sean Stasiak? Talk about nepotism there in that group.
Yeah. The Brood. Gangrel, Christian, and Edge.
Everybody just like the Brood because of the entrance and music.
Yeah.
See, I can't give JBL's cabinet any type of love. You got Orlando Jordan. Yeah, no, not doing that.
PCB and Team Bad. That was what you're running.
All right, now this is kind of segueing into just naming random facts.
Oddities.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that. No. Legitimate underrated factions.
I was gonna say, what was the group that Mankind and Big Show and all them was that the Lumberjacks or some bullshit like that?
Oh yeah, those are the ones that got screwed off. Screwed by the corporation.
Yeah,
the ones who all got kicked out. I forgot their name.
Like, let's not do jobbers here.
Yeah,
underrated,
like Job Squad and all that.
Yeah,
NWO Wolfpack.
NWO Silver.
You said NWO Wolfpack. They were half the show.
The Union. That was it.
Okay. Steve, I would have to go with you. I would have to say the Triple Threat.
Triple Threat was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, now like DJ brought up the
them
Dudleys
all.
in ECW. Do you consider that a faction?
That's a tag team.
Well, no, you had
The group, the family of the
Oh,
Dudleys.
the family. Okay,
Yeah,
the family. All right.
Yeah. You had Spike, you had Big Dick.
Sign guy.
I mean, I know the Dudley Boys, Devon and Bubba, like had the most shine out of that group, but you did have other people that wrestled. I wouldn't necessarily put them up there as underrated in this sense of the term, underrated, but oh, there's a good throwback one. That was Billy Kidman and wasn't it Billy Kidman, Saturn, or Kidman, Mysterio?
Kidman, Conan, and Ray. Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I remember Kidman and Ray. I didn't remember a third one. So okay.
3 Live Crew with Conan, R-Truth, and
Road
Dogg in TNA. Team Canada was a nice pull. I forget who said Team Canada, but Team Canada was a real nice pull. That was a great group.
Mm-hmm.
If you want by matches on North American TV before, like, everybody was watching New Japan, Kantai was good.
Who was it?
That was good.
Kantai, yeah. Like
Before
for the
they
strong
became the
style.
top of the group.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like for the strong style before you knew what like New Japan and that stuff was if you wasn't watching New Japan.
When they were pushing Taka as the light heavyweight champion, like as the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
And then after that, we just got jokes after jokes after jokes.
Yeah, I can't consider Kantai underrated whenever you say Kantai and I automatically think of Choppy to PP. Like I can't put them in any type of serious conversation after that.
I mean, definitely
This was a good one,
some throwback, yeah.
Especially,
right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the debate this for this week's show. One more thing to tie up Forbidden Door, because you brought up Chris, you brought up the repeat.
The X Factor.
No.
I'm over the Forbidden Door concept. It's not special anymore. It doesn't have the same meaning that it had whenever it was initially brought out there. You've had too many of your big stars jump ship from New Japan to AEW.
Yes.
And it just, too cool. Scotty 2 Hotty, Rikishi, Jerry the King Lawler's son, again, nepotism.
Brian Christopher, right?
Not for me. They were
I'm over Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same.
And then you're not getting equal love either. Like the New Japan town always gets treated like shit.
Well, it's the same way they did with TNA.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I can do
And
without.
yeah, like you guys said, like everybody just coming over to AEW. It's just like New Japan East. That's all like New Japan West. It's like everybody fought each other already over in New Japan.
Yep.
All right. Anything else before we run through quick hits?
What do you got?
So one, Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast signed a deal with ESPN this week to be broadcasted nationally on ESPN Radio. I didn't even know ESPN Radio was still a thing because I don't get it here in Pittsburgh. So it's not something that comes across the airways. But kudos to Booker T and crew, Brad Gilmore, for getting a live syndicated show each week across the ESPN platform. That's an interesting deal, I think. Like it may lead to more things, but we talked about being.
It's a weird time though. Like that one. What it's gonna be after like UFC 303 or something. So
hey, Mr. Mouse.
Yeah.
You got the vision.
Other quick hitters that I had. Let's see. Booker T, the big thing. Oh, and then follow up to what I never thought I would see again, but WWE tweeted out yesterday, said which WWE superstars like The Rock, Uncle Howdy's return, Tiffany Stratton, and Jordan Grace's debut in 2024. Basically, they were just talking about 2024 and the year so far, what a crazy year it's been with returns and people debuting. But the fact that Jordan Grace got tagged in a WWE tweet from the official WWE Twitter account, again, just goes to show something that I never thought I would see in 2024. Like, and she followed it up by quote tweeting and saying, "It's been a good year." So yeah, kudos to her continuing her run there. I fully expect Joe Hendry to be on the main roster sometime soon.
Somebody wants somebody.
Say his name.
Say his name. All right. Any other quick hits?
No.
No, nothing else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to episode 194 of the Dumb Marks podcast in Roman numerals. As always, follow us on all social media platforms at Dumb Marks Pod. Email the show at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Criticisms, likes, stuff you want to see, send all those over to the email. Head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. Pick up some merch. We'll give you a live shout out on air. Anything else for the crew before we leave with a quote of positivity?
Do it.
All right. Wrapping up men's.
Dude, that one's coming.
The way my bank account's working right now, I'm having a little hard time. Nah. Relax. Patience is a virtue, kid. Okay?
The ship just got freed. It's in Virginia now.
That bridge ain't gonna be built for a while time.
The ship is in Virginia right now. You know, getting worked on.
It's currently being walked across the United States with the Olympic torch. So you'll get it before they send the torch across the pond to head towards Paris.
Said Forrest Gump's on his walking trail.
Yeah. So wrapping up Men's Health Awareness Month here, the end of June. Big proponent of mental health as always. From somebody that has dealt with, anxiety and other things in the past and currently still. So make sure check in on your boys, make sure they're right. Just ask them, hey, how you doing? Give them a straight, how you doing? That's it. Don't pay attention to Jason shaking his head. But
we eat that
quote of the week this week. Real growth happens when you're tired of your own shit. Real growth happens when you're tired of your own shit. Again, thanks for always is tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for rocking with us. Tune in next week for episode 195. And with that being said, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, Telemark. Until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.